Welcome to the city formerly known as Stalingrad, Volgograd. What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm in the city of Volgograd. Volgograd is a city south of Moscow and it lies on the western bank of the river Volga. It was founded in 1689 and now has just over 1 million people. With its long history, Volgograd hasn't always been known by the same name. It was originally known as Tsaritsyn and it had that name for 300 years. And then in 1925 it was changed to Stalingrad to be named after the leader of the Soviet Union at the time, Joseph Stalin. And then in 1961, when Khrushchev was leader during the period of de-Stalinization, the name was changed from Stalingrad to Volgograd. This city is most famous for the Battle of Stalingrad, one of the deadliest battles in human history in the middle of World War II. Conservative estimates state that 1,250,000 people died in that battle, whereas the upper estimates are more like 2 million. Because of this, the way it shaped this city, the way it destroyed the city and its inhabitants, it's a major part of life here in the city of Volgograd, and so many of the things you'll see today during this tour are related to that battle and related to the Second World War in general. One little fun fact is that even though this city is no longer called Stalingrad, on 9 days of the year the name changes from Volgograd to Stalingrad. These 9 days have significance in relation to the battle and to the Second World War, and only on those 9 days of the year do official documents in this city say the city's name is Stalingrad. But today is not one of those days, so I can only say welcome to Volgograd. We start today in the main square of this city, Fallen Warriors Square. You can see behind me here there's a statue of Alexander Nevsky. In 2006, Patriarch Alexei II declared that Alexander Nevsky is the patron saint of Volgograd. And because of that, they built a statue for him right here. And still under construction, right next to the statue and next to this theatre, is the Alexander Nevsky Church. You can see only with 2 cupolas right now, and 2 more are on the floor right here waiting to be put on. The statue of Alexander Nevsky, the prince turned saint, shows him in full armour holding a banner. Also in this square is an obelisk like in St. Petersburg or in Moscow, and also an eternal flame like you find in many Russian cities. But something you'll find here, which you won't find anywhere else, is right behind me, this tree. The oldest tree to survive the Battle of Stalingrad. To get from the square over here all the way down to the embankment of the Volga, you have to go down this path known as the Alley of Heroes, which has numerous monuments and statues from the Battle of Stalingrad. Behind me here, you can see this statue. This hill is called Mamayev Kurgan. Kurgan is a Tatar word for burial ground. But this hill is not famous for being a burial ground. It's famous for something which happened in World War II.
During the Second World War, it was viciously fought over due to the strategic position it held. Its capture by Soviet forces on the 2nd of February 1943 finally ended the Battle of Stalingrad. At the end of the battle, Mamayev Kurgan's soil was mixed with shrapnel and corpses, and it's impossible to know the exact figure, but according to estimates, at least 34,000 soldiers are buried there. Mamayev Kurgan is certainly Volgograd's main site, and is probably even one of the most impressive sites in the whole of Russia.
Let's go for a walk to the top of this hill and have a look at the statue and the view from the top of Mamayev Kurgan. And here at the top you can see the statue in all its glory, the largest statue of a female in the entire world. But the statue is not the only thing in the Mamayev Kurgan complex, as you can see behind me. Down at the bottom of this hill, you can see here there's a statue of a Soviet soldier, bare-chested, holding a machine gun, about to throw a grenade. It's called the Statue for Fighting to the Death. As you walk up from that statue, you can see some steps with walls on either side. They are 46-meter high memorial walls, and they are ruined to show the dangers and the consequences of war. You also see pictures of soldiers on there and Russian phrases from that time period and from the war. Directly below the statue here is Heroes Square. Heroes Square normally has a pool. As you can see today, it's empty. And on one side we see 6 soldiers. These 6 soldiers are 6 meters high each and are in heroic poses, showing what Soviet soldiers did during the Battle of Stalingrad. Next to the statue is over here is the Hall of Military Glory. It's circular and inside has golden walls, and written on the walls are the names of over 7,000 soldiers who died in the Battle of Stalingrad. Also in there's a hand in the middle of the room holding a torch with an eternal flame. This is guarded 24/7 by 2 soldiers at the bottom and 2 soldiers here at the top. Let's go and take a look inside. The second most famous site here in Volgograd is this house, Pavlov's house, a 4-story ruin which was defended during the Battle of Stalingrad for 58 days by Sergeant Yakov Pavlov and 15 other Soviet men. It was eventually liberated by the Soviet army and he was saved, and this house and his heroism has been celebrated here in Volgograd ever since. You can see messages on the wall here remembering the memory of these heroes. Of course, the main museum in Volgograd is the Battle of Stalingrad Museum, which you can see right behind me here. Inside the Battle of Stalingrad Museum are over 3,500 artifacts from the battle and from the war as a whole. As well as those artifacts, there is also a model city showing the extent of the damage the war had on the city as a whole. And outside of those, there's also some presents given to Stalingrad by different countries. The main one is a sword, which was given to the people of Stalingrad by King George VI of the United Kingdom, my home country. Right next to the Battle of Stalingrad Museum is the ruins of the old city mill of Stalingrad. It's kept here in this style, in its ruined way, as to serve as a reminder for how terrible the war was, and for a reminder for the people here of Stalingrad of what their ancestors went through. Ironically, this building was actually built by Germans. The city of Volgograd has many statues of Vladimir Lenin. This is of course unsurprising, considering this city was completely destroyed in the Second World War and rebuilt afterwards in the Stalinist Soviet style. This one here is the main statue of Lenin in Volgograd, and this square is Lenin Square, and this street is Lenin Avenue. Here I'm standing outside Volgograd Arena, the football stadium which was created for the 2018 World Cup here in Russia. It hosted 4 games during the World Cup, including one with England against Tunisia. This stadium is now the home of a local small team called Rota Volgograd, but they never fill this stadium and people don't really know what's going to happen to it. And in fact, this stadium's not without complete controversy. A few days following the World Cup final in Moscow, there were videos from this stadium here in Volgograd of the land over here falling away, and the stadium looked like it was going to fall into the river Volga over here. I'll put a link to that video right here. Guys, thank you very much for getting to the end of this video. It's the end of my time here in Volgograd right now. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you press the thumbs up button. If you're from Volgograd or you have a comment about this video, please write down below. And if you want to see more videos about Moscow and other cities in Russia, please subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.